Oftentimes, we find ourselves lost, confused, disoriented to our present situation, entangled by all the eclectic mixes of stimuli that for a time entice us, appease us to reach that point of satiety, to make us feel that there is no longer a need to search for something. But this is only for a time. A little longer again, and that sensation reappears, the one that makes us think that the search is not over. But what do we do while we are in this entangled state? A pattern created at a point that you realize becomes repetitive and much like fitting into your quotidian lifestyle. What can you do? What will you do? For full sense of yourself is only a distant memory, and as such is kept untouched, buried deep below, contorted and misconstrued by what you know now is. But there is turbulence, great turbulence, that finds its way in the path. It is something that you never anticipated, but it begins to provoke you for some time. It is there for a reason. The turbulence keeps propping up to remind you of something that keeps you in this disquieted state. It keeps you there, provoking the disorder that perpetually stays with you. It keeps fighting, struggling, trying to make its way to the surface. It is the chaos inside of you that keeps you in this disoriented phase. But is disorientation a really bad thing? For in this disoriented state, there are many directions, not just one. There are decisions that you have not yet discovered or even thought of. It shifts your focus. While strongly determined to set sail in one direction, the turbulence and hence the disorientation lets you know of the other possible directions that you can take, but you just don't know it as yet, as you remain in that confused state. So, what can you really do? What is real? What is material? What is the most tangible way to go? But if it is what you see is the only real direction, does it mean that no other option is present? For these things remain unknown to you. That is, unless no real obstacle remains in that path that you have set sail. So, what can you trust when everything around you seems to be transient, making its exit when you place attention on it? In the midst of entanglement, there is something always there. Like cords entangled, like crossing roots. When doubts begin to appear, there is a tracing, a delicate tracing. For its origin, it once started. From its origin, a path was made. When fears arise, you look towards the source. From this source, you can trace the path, even in the midst of entanglement. Though many knots find their way, it is quite the fascination to begin tracing, or more like retracing your steps, delineating what originally was and so will always be. So, were you really lost after all? Are you really confused? When turbulence sets itself up on the path, it keeps you focused on the tracing. It keeps telling you to stay focused on your path, helping you to unwire and keep patent what was and so will always be.